Okay, welcome to PNW Homes Group. I'm going to get quickly started here and then I'll go on. You'll get kind of a little two sections here of what I think PNW Homes Group is at, where everybody's coming to, where they're going to, what is PNW with regards to different states. So I get the question all the time. We're moving up to the PNW, Pacific Northwest, if you don't know for short. It's Washington, Idaho, Oregon. I almost think sometimes people say Idaho's not included. Idaho loves to be included because it brings in more people from the West Coast over. West Coast sometimes don't think Idaho is included, and some people even say Montana's included, but they're a lot further from the West. If you're looking to move just up to the Pacific Northwest, you've already probably done your research. You probably looked at the major cities, countries, little counties outside the cities, where you want to go. I will be honest, it's definitely hard for some East Coasters or Texans, even Californians coming up, and they're not used to the country life. So if you are picking a city, that's great. And then a lot of them pick the suburbs, 20, 30 minutes outside the city. Just make sure if you're coming up from outside the city, those suburbs still have the main conveniences that you like. If you need them, Target, yoga, Starbucks, whatever you're looking for, because it is a lot of driving if you don't have those. So if you don't have those, make sure you're picking a city you want to go to. And we do, like any other major cities, different places like Seattle, Portland, have some homeless issues. So be careful with that. I mean, if you're okay with it, we went down to Portland 2 weekends ago, and yes, there's homeless, but we loved it. We love downtown, the restaurants, the stays, everything like that. So it's a grain of salt to each their own. If you're living there, probably a different story. Or if you're on the outsides of the suburbs. And then again, I like Montana. So if you're moving up here, here's the catch. Everybody says, well, where would you go? What would you do? And to be honest, I love Washington State. I love that we're right by the ocean. I love being able to go to Seattle. I love driving up to Vancouver, BC. Absolutely. We can take the train down to Portland. So I like picking the corridor. Now, everybody always throws in politics in this as well. So then you mix in politics with the Pacific Northwest. What's politics in Washington State compared to Idaho and Montana and Oregon? And of course, Washington and Oregon are definitely a lot different than Idaho and Montana, politic-wise. And I've had a lot of friends and agents leave Washington State to go to Idaho and Montana because of the politics alone. Not only over guns, but just politics, religion, all this other stuff that's going through. To us, we're right in the middle. So for us, I love it. My wife still teaches at Northwest Christian Elementary there and absolutely love it. Our kids love it. It is a private school, Christian private school, but we absolutely love it. It's really cool. And we love the corridor, living down the Pacific Northwest. When I say Pacific Northwest, I mean Washington and Oregon. Yes, a little bit of Idaho and Montana I do consider. Now, if you are wanting to go, let's start the furthest out. If you're wanting to go, I'm going to include Montana. If it's sacrilegious or you don't think it's part of the PNW, that's fine, Pacific Northwest, but I like Montana. If I was to move anywhere in Montana, actually, we do have good friends down in Billings and Bozeman's great. Over there, definitely you have to pick if you're wanting to go to a college town or if you're wanting to go more industrial, more country town. And then what are you looking for? I always narrow it down to what do I want to do for my hobbies? If I'm retiring, which I'm getting a lot of people asking retiring, okay, what are your hobbies? Are you staying at home more? Then you want more of a little spread out home and you're okay driving 20, 30 minutes once a week to get your main groceries. Or are you wanting more city life? Where are you wanting to go? Because if you're wanting more city life, yes, the college towns will have more of that restaurant vibe, go out to a nice glass of wine, stuff like that. And some of the other cities will as well, but not to the degree of how much do you want to go out? How much experiences do you want? Culture, nightlife, all that stuff as well is a huge factor. Because politics aside, the states you're picking will already have that politic factor. Now it's narrowing down the towns. How much of a population do you want in that town? And then from there, price is going to be a huge point. Some of the towns, depending if they're college or a little bit bigger, the prices are going to be higher. So you're going to have to go further out to find that if you're wanting a chunk of land. Now, if you're wanting more suburbs, of course, you can go through there. This is going to bring up a key point. Oh my goodness. And I keep running into this. Everybody's degree of upgraded home is different. Look, if your home has that trim, that's the old 1980s little brown trim, that's not upgraded. It's not. And I'm sorry, I have listings coming up that are with that, and it's not upgraded. The new trim is the big thick trim with the flooring and everything else, and it has to look clean. It can't be DIY with nails in the trim and caulking that's all over. Trust me, I am not a finished carpenter. You don't want me to do trim at all. Just ask my wife. So like on our house, I hired someone. It looks amazing. It was expensive, considering other factors, but it wasn't crazy. It was just, you know, you don't like to pay for trim, but you have to. You have to have nice trim, and we use the pine instead of MDF, cardboard stuff. But with that being said, what you're going to find up here compared to a lot of cities where you're coming from East Coast or the South, where there's a lot of new home builds or a lot of new upgrades and everything like that, we don't have as many, I would say. I mean, we're starting to spin the ball where people are starting to upgrade their homes more. Our contractors are completely slammed and, to be honest, extremely priced. I guess if you're really good, absolutely, you should get paid the right price. But the upgrades, when you look for homes, the upgraded homes or new homes are going to go for such a premium. So if you have the skills to upgrade your home, or if you think you're going to hire a contractor, make sure you're checking with contractors first on their prices and their availability. Because last thing you want to do is buy a home and think you're going to get a contractor to come through and remodel, and it's going to be a year out. It's going to be extremely pricey. You have to shift through some of the contractors. As we all know, people go through life and stuff like that. It seems like contractors go through a little bit more burnout rate, is a nice way of what I'm trying to say. And that's going to make your home buying process sucky in a nice way. It is. You buy a home and then you're going to upgrade it and this and that, and dealing with contractors and trying to get them in there is tough. So if you have a real estate broker like myself that has a list of good contractors, you want to get during the inspection period when you have the home under contract, if you are looking at buying a remodeled home that you're going to remodel, get the contractors in there and get quotes right away. We'll open up the door for you so the contractors can meet, they can give you the quotes, and you can get them lined up. So when you do close, you can hit the ground running with, all right, let's tear all the floors out, this and that. We're going to do paint first. Of course, naturally get the paint all done, and then you can go with floors. And then if you're doing cabinets or bathroom work or anything else like that, then you can go through and do it. Roof's easy, siding's easy, paint's easy on the outside. I say easy because it's easier to get contractors out that. Interior work with bathrooms and kitchen remodels, depending on where you're at, can be easy or can be hard. And then flooring, trim, and paint, again, can be easy or hard, depending on if you have the right connections. So with that being said, you know, let's start with Montana. If you're going out here, you have at least the cool places of Billings, Livingston, Bozeman. I have a lot of people, to be honest, right now moving up past Missoula, but up by Kalispell. Kalispell up north up here by Flathead Lake, beautiful. And of course you have West Glacier up here, freaking phenomenal. Beautiful. I love it. Even if you don't move out there, go to West Glacier. You'll love it. That lake is unbelievable. Lake McDonald. And then we went all the way through there. But out of here, out in Kalispell, you have such a great area to live. If you haven't been down by Big Fork, Montana, off the lake, apparently, I haven't been. Apparently, the 4th of July is off the hook there. Just insane. You have this old cowboy town just packed full with the streets of just people all just clean. I mean, thousands and thousands of people crammed in the streets. And then they have this cool resort here. It's a little expensive, Flathead Lake Lodge. And why a little expensive? I mean, I think it's like $5,000, $6,000 a person per week. So it comes out to like $1,000 a day. But they do provide all the meals, all the entertainment, everything like that. And the location is amazing. And so that being said, that is right out of Big Fork, which is crazy. So if you're looking for a cool resort, Big Fork or Flathead Lake Lodge, they're on Flathead Lake over by Big Fork. And then I would hunt around Kalispell and all through there. And then you have up here by Lake McDonald, Glacier National Park, West Glacier over there. You'll love it. So explore up there. That would be my first choice if I was moving. And I actually have a lot of locals that have moved from here, specifically from here, but from also Washington State, that moved up there. And it's amazing. We drove all through there. Now it is, again, country, smaller town. I think, what's the population of Kalispell? Does not say. Sorry, I should have this on like Google Maps. Here you go. Kalispell, we'll just do it this way. Bear with me. City of Montana. See, I don't have it pulled up. Population is 26,000. So you have as you know, that's a small town. Small little 26,000 people. Not much there. And I say not much compared to if you're coming from a city of 200,000, 500,000 or more, where you have a lot of infrastructure, a lot of stuff. You know, you have like one main street and you have a small little airport, but you're out in the country. So if you're wanting horse riding, nature, biking, hiking, fishing, all that good stuff, and you still are going to travel a little bit, this may even be a great secondary home. And this is 6 months here, 6 months somewhere else, or however you're doing. And again, I'm mostly focusing on retirement because that is the new trend right now. That's what everybody's doing, is just transitioning. I'm getting a lot of people retiring, and for the next 10 years, I'm going to have baby boomers plus all transitioning, retiring, selling, and moving out. That's just what's going on right now. And rightfully so. You've worked hard, time to change, time to move, time to transition. Where are we going? Well, we want to get out of all the major cities. Montana is phenomenal. Love it. So that is a great place to go. Of course, you can go down to the college town Missoula there that will have more people, more population. Dang it, what's the population of Missoula? See, I don't have any of this ready for you, but check out the population of Missoula. You can go down to the college town there. From Montana, if you're not wanting Montana, you're not wanting Bozeman again, college town, or Livingston, expensive, and you're right north of Yellowstone National Park, which is really cool. Or if you're wanting more out in the plains, out in Billings, beautiful. But if you're not wanting that style of life, and you're like, no, I want to be more in the mountains, more in Idaho, then Idaho definitely has the mountains. Now, you can go down south, you can go down to Twin Falls, you have Sun Valley up there, where all the actors and ski areas. It's insanely expensive, but it's supposed to be amazing. Haley is where I think Bruce Willis had like a house over there. A lot of actors did all through here in Twin Falls. Personally, I'm hit and miss about down that way because, and even Boise, it's definitely front range. And I mean front range, like it's still kind of like the plains. It's almost like up here in Montana, it's kind of the same thing as Billings because you're kind of out here in the plains and same geographical kind of phenomenal, the plains. Now you still have mountains, you have the valley, and you have the mountains right there. So you're not out there. So it's kind of cool. You do have the mountains, and Boise is right on the mountains. You have the river and everything else. But when we drive through there, we drive through there a lot because if you're going down through Washington, down to Colorado or Salt Lake or anything like that, you'll cut through Boise. And to be honest, we cut through Boise. It's kind of like a driving through and here we go. And yeah, it's a cute town, cute city. It does have a population. So don't get me wrong. I'm not slagging Boise. I like it. It's just, it's Boise, Idaho. And it's a college town too. So it does have infrastructure, everything like that. I do like Coeur d'Alene. So this is where out of Idaho, everybody's kind of going to, and Coeur d'Alene blew up. It boomed. It's insane. And by boomed, I mean, one, you're right on the I-90. You have Coeur d'Alene Lake, which is phenomenal, but you're more in the mountains and it's all trees. So it's less plains, more trees. If you want the plains, and you kind of go over to Spokane in that direction, and there's city life from Spokane as well. So you kind of have that Coeur d'Alene, lake life, tree life, woods life, and then out there's all these cute little towns along the I-5. Was it Kellogg that I remember stopping in? Forgot. There's one town that like goes under the freeway, which is amazing, where they didn't move their town. I forgot all the history on it in Idaho. But that's pretty amazing. So I like, to be honest, I'm more Coeur d'Alene, and then you can go up to Sandpoint. Sandpoint up here, Lake Pendelora, sorry, Lake Pendola, I can't even say it. Forget it. Anyways, the lake up north on Sandpoint. Go ahead and comment how to pronounce it. I know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. Anyways, I almost died in this lake. Long story. Yeah. In the winter, canoe, fishing, outdoors, ego, thinking I'm Eagle. I was an Eagle Scout. Still am, but anyways, freaking amazing. And what's nice from here is they have Schweitzer Ski Resort right up on the top, and Schweitzer Ski Resort's beautiful. So love the ski resort up here in Schweitzer from Sandpoint. You're out in the country out here, but you're on the lake. A lot of high-end money on this lake as well. So Coeur d'Alene up to Sandpoint, Schweitzer Mountain, and then what's neat is from here, you can literally go straight over here to Kelowna, which is all wine country up in Canada. So if you're a wine person and you want to drive Kelowna, I think they have a few hundred wineries on Kelowna Lake, and I'm sure you've heard of it. It's like the Napa of Canada. So it's amazing. So I like that location more because you're more central to everything, and then Spokane has National Airport as well. So over the south part of Idaho, I tend to go more north in the woods, more country, that direction. Let's swing down through Oregon. So Oregon, I mean, most people stay on the west side of Oregon. There is one cool city. I would move there in a second. So would my wife if we wanted to. That's Bend, Oregon. A lot of actors go to Bend, Oregon as well from California. But Bend, Oregon, I believe, has like that neat little, they have the food, the infrastructure, they have the city, they have the mountains, they have the river, they have the snow. They kind of have everything in a small little package. And it's very quaint and neat and clean and sophisticated. Kind of the whole like little, you go to the Hallmark poster card, little location, that's Bend, Oregon in my mind. And so we love to go down to Bend. We've been going there forever. There's a little resort over here, the World Mark 7th Mountain Resort. There's a bunch of golf courses. I hit a house and some gentleman yelled at me for hitting his house with the golf ball. Whitewater rafting's amazing in the summer and just beautiful. Like, you have to see Bend, Oregon. So in my opinion, out of Oregon, out of everything, I would be in Bend, Oregon in a second. They have the Deschutes Brewery there. And then from there, you have the mountain up here, Mount Hood. Now it's still a little bit away, but I love going to Mount Hood. That resort on Mount Hood, the exterior is from the movie The Shining. So remember The Shining with Jack Nicholson? Mount Hood, check it out, The Shining. So if you're ever driving through there, it's really cool to see. And then down below almost is like there's this little pizza place, or last time we were there, I'm not sure if it is. It's almost like a Game of Thrones, all the rock walls and everything like that. Really cool pizza place in the bottom of the resort. You can just tuck away and have a beer and some amazing pizza in there. So that's really cool. And then of course, I do like Portland. Now between Portland and Tillamook cheese, Bend, Portland, Oregon, is a really cool road off, I forgot what river this is. Help me out. Let's zoom in. Anyways, the Wilson River. A lot of cool cabins up through here. And I was watching TV show, all the different cabin remodels. All of them were from Portland and Tillamook, and they all remodeled all these amazing cabins off the river. And it was out in the woods. It was country. It was amazing. Definitely wet rainforest, wet in the winter. But I like Portland. I'm a big fan, and Portland's starting to come back with real estate. It's actually, I was watching auctions, watching homes still priced higher than some key locations, and they have amazing architecture down there, and the restaurants are unbelievable, just off the hook. So I'm a big fan. We took the train down from Olympia down to Portland with the family. Kids absolutely love the train ride. 2 hours, almost just the same amount of time as driving almost. So it was relaxing. It drops you off right downtown Portland. We take an Uber right over to the hotel, and we're walking to all the different restaurants. We didn't Uber after that. We just walked everywhere. Not a hard city. And so if you're going to live in Portland, of course, you're going to live on the outsides of Portland. There are some main homes inside, but not really. So you're going to live over on this side of the Willamette or down by the woods, and there's some great places to live down there. 2, if you do like Portland, let me know. I do have a really great realtor out there. Actually, I have a realtor in all these areas I'm talking about. So I've dealt with realtors over there before. I've sent clients over there, but I also have set up key relationships over there where we love talking real estate, where people are moving from, what they're talking about, complaining about this and that. The number one complaint is nothing's updated. Just that's the reality. Unless they're buying like new homes or it's been updated, great. But those fly off the market. So if something's updated with a piece of land and it's good, and to be honest, I like more of the land. If you are buying a larger chunk, I like the land to be not all kinds of shit on it. And I think that's a hard part to find too. I don't know how else to say it. I'm sorry. Just you want a clean land, because when the snow falls, I don't want to be careful of what I run over or jump into. And 2, it just looks nicer. So to either have the clean land cleaned out and then house remodeled, great. But those do fly off the market. You know, and then if you're doing cookie cutter neighborhoods or cul-de-sacs or the suburbs, those are a lot easier to find. Again, they will be somewhat outdated. So then again, are you okay with that, or do you want the newer homes? Now, teach outdated, everybody has a different preference. Like, can you move into outdated home? When I say that, absolutely. It's 1990s, 2000s, 2010. It's not completely outdated. It's nice. Maybe it has a little newer trim. Maybe the floors are fine. Maybe the kitchen's a little outdated, but not bad. Bathrooms maybe outdated with the 5-piece. It's the old tile. You can come in and live and be completely okay with it. And then you could refresh it up by room, or you could just say, I love it. I don't mind. You know, and it's not like it's structurally wrong. Wiring's probably not wrong unless you're in the 80s or 90s, and they used to do the Y-shaped wiring where you go from one point to one point, and if you blow one side, it pops a whole side. Wife would use the hairdryer and the microwave. Trust me, the 88 or whatever the home was, 86 we're in, and microwave, hairdryer, and pop the one side, and I'd go down to the garage, pop the breaker, turn the microwave off, let her do her hair, then turn the microwave on for my burrito. I always got sacrificed. It's okay. No, it did though. I'm joking. So you won't run into any of that. It's just, are you okay with that? So if you're coming from upgraded, you know, newer homes to this, you're sacrificing for maybe more land or more view, and that's okay. Location's phenomenal. Sorry, I have an appointment, and it's keep seeing texts. I've gotten like 10 texts while making this, but we're good. So with that being said, if you're looking for any locations, call me. I'll go into even more detail. I have pictures, family trips, exploring. I know all the areas. I love them. We looked at multiple of these places to move in ourselves because ADD, I love to live everywhere. This is our home. We're grounded. We love it. We won't move. We may move around town a little bit, but we always love it here. So I dream and I research the heck out of it for real estate. Plus I know my own markets tenfold over. It just helped another amazing client. God bless their soul. Unbelievably nice. They bought this amazing waterfront home. I was so happy to help them. They deserved it in every way, shape, and form, and a huge believer in amazing, clean, good karma. And so they nailed it and they got it. And so I'm so proud for them. So Brenda and Brad, congratulations again if you're watching this video. So with that being said, if you're moving Portland, great. I've been watching so many homes and they actually are starting to go pen. There's a trendy one right on the outside over here, and it was off kind of the main street, but like in a little suburb neighborhood. And the person that was selling was like some high-end publisher or book writer. The house looked like the old craftsman style, but architecture, antique, movie theaters, all this nostalgia. And the house was amazing. I saw it went pending when we were there in Portland because I just wanted to see it. I'm like, I would have bought that. I think it was $1.3 million, and it was amazing. If you want to know what that home looked like, I'll tag it in here so you can see what I'm looking at. That one was really cool. So from there, going up on the train, we live in Washington. So we live in Olympia. Some people call it the armpit of Washington. It is our capital of the state. It just looks like an armpit. I think it's really cool. It's a smaller town again as well. I think the populations, when you combine them, it's like 50, 60, 30 or something like that. But technically it's like 60,000 for Olympia. Don't quote me on it. I haven't looked in a while. And then Tumwater and then Lacey. So combined, you know, if you take this whole circumference here, we're at $130, $120, somewhere in there. Maybe a little bit more nowadays the way we're growing. But we still feel country. We have lakes, we have the sound, we have clamming, fishing, crabbing. Mountains are an hour and a half away for skiing and snowboarding. You're an hour and a half away to the ocean for surfing, out there crabbing, clamming, everything else as well. It doesn't get any better. Shrimping, and you can go up here to Hood Sport and get in this canal, and it's amazing. I think Bill Gates has a place over here off of Belfair down by, what's that resort called over here? Help me out, locals. What's the resort called that everybody goes to over there? Oh, Alderbrook Resort. There it is. I was too high. Alderbrook Resort over in the canal over there. And Shelton's okay. It's definitely cleaned up as well. So if you're looking for different areas, let me know. I will show you. If you're looking for Seattle, I'm a big fan of Queen Anne. Absolutely love Queen Anne. Amazing craftsman homes. They have the home from, why am I stalling out today? I have the home from the book, the movie where he hit Bigfoot with the car. I have the book over there, Harry and the Hendersons. Thank goodness the book's over in the library. I just saw my small library. It's in the bottom there. But Harry and the Hendersons. The house is right up in there. So if you know what I'm talking about, it's amazing because in Queen Anne, you're right here, go right downtown, all your restaurants, and they have amazing restaurants in Queen Anne itself. Baseball games, football games right down here. You're in it. I love it. I think that's where we would move. If we did go to Seattle, my wife and I talked about it, it'd be great. And you have the zoo right above, Woodland Park Zoo. You have the parks there. You have the water, the ferry systems. Even I think there's a ferry. Is there a ferry from Seattle that takes you to Vancouver Island? I'll have to Google that. I forget. But you can get out to Victoria over here on Vancouver Island. You can go straight up, take the train or drive up to Vancouver, BC. If you're wanting more mountains, you can go up here, Squaquamie Pass. You can go up here to North Bend, Squaquamie, Enumclaw, out this way. Monroe, you'll have more country out that way. Careful going up north. I have a lot of people talking about Edmonds, Marysville, Lake Stevens, anything up here, just freeway, and even down south, to be honest, Tacoma, Puyallup, everything else. If you're not living in Seattle, you're going to hit traffic either north or south along the corridor. I find it coming from the mountains in is better with traffic, but again, it's more that you have like one straight shot. So if you're down here, over here, you're still going through the mix of the traffic. Just what it is. So people keep calling and saying, well, my husband needs to work and wants to only be an hour away from Seattle and no traffic, and we want this, this, and this. Remember, our median price, along with everywhere else I'm talking about, Portland, Kalispell and Montana, everywhere else, those median prices are extremely high. It's just what it is. So, if you're looking for a house that's somewhat good, I think our average price just got raised up with FHA loans now to like 766 or 866, something like that. I mean, we're talking some of the highest prices in the nation, of course, New York, Chicago, and all that other stuff, but we are definitely up there, along with Boston. Of course, Boston's expensive too. So if you're coming from somewhere where lower end homes, where you get a beautiful home for Texas for $350, you're going to be sticker shocked when you come up to Washington for $750,000, and you want to be in the mix of it in Seattle. On the outsides, now there are new homes around. Don't let me scare you or try to shock you. You can find homes. It's just with what updates, with how much land we're at and so forth. So all those levels vary and change depending where you're going. Bellingham, very cool as well. You're right by the border. I love it. Very trendy. Definitely got saturated and inflated as well. But there are a lot of people moving there. And all these places have low inventory. We don't have inventory, at least in Washington State. Depending on where you're looking at as well, in Bend and Oregon and everywhere else I've been following, inventory's hard. It's just hard, but I think that's changing. That's why I'm making this video today. Not only do I have friends that are moving, actually quite a few friends that keep calling and moving and asking. Actually, I'm excited to FaceTime with some other friends I haven't talked to. Well, I've talked to in a while, but I'm excited just to say hi. Gotta stop saying no, but I'm excited to say hi. So they're moving or thinking of moving, and so it's just giving this knowledge out there, this information that's straightforward, because any agent will try to sell you on their spot because they want to sell you, which is fine. I love our spot too, but I think there's so much of the Pacific Northwest, even including Montana, that's amazing out there, and you've got to go experience it. I will say, if you have no spot in mind, do the road trip. If you can, do the road trip and take a week and go through, or 2 weeks, and really get to know each area. Or pick the 3 main spots or 2 main spots and go and chill, drive around town for 2-3 days, go to a restaurant every night and talk to the locals, talk to the real estate broker what to do. Will we mix in? Will we like it, integrate? Will the politics, will the city life, will we be okay driving this far away? And then what does our price get us? What do we actually get for our home? Are we okay with that? So I think really exploring those options, because of what I'm seeing with the baby boomers and everybody else starting to retire and transition in real estate, this is the time to really niche down and know your market, know what you're looking for, and have fun with it. I mean, this is exciting. It's just, what hobbies are you wanting to do? Are you going to be traveling more? Then you want to be close to a major airport. And check the major airports, because major airports in Montana and Idaho, at least in my opinion, are different than Seattle and Portland on where you can go. There's nothing worse than trying to fly from a little bit further over and then have to connect to Seattle or somewhere else and then fly out. Oh, I hate connecting flights. But maybe you're okay with it and you have all the time in the world and it's a little more fun adventure, more fun. I think I'm learning the kids' words. It's another fun adventure, so maybe you're okay with it. So, and that's fine. So those are everything you have to take into ideal. If we're driving, do we want theater? Do we have theater? What other culture experiences do we have? I think that's a huge part because you want to start doing that. And you got to remember, some of the major cities will have more activities than out in the country. They won't have as much, and so they're basing it on family activities more. And so if you're part of church, great, they'll have activities. But again, that's only one step because then you don't have the major city activities of all the other stuff. So you start finding yourself going to the city more, and then you're like, crud, now I'm too far away, and it's starting to get annoying. And now you start getting hunkered into your home, but without a key source of friends. Maybe the church will help, absolutely, but you need that key source of friends. And if you just move there, it's going to be tough for the first few years, unless you're really good at making friends real quick, and a lot of people are. So again, take that into a factor. Or maybe you don't want to make any friends. You want way out there, and you like your home, your homestead, your land, and that's it, and you're good. Perfect. That's easy to find too, because there's a bunch of chunks of land coming up, and there will be more and more land coming up. And by that, I just saw another study, and it's not only going to be here, it's all through the Midwest, everything, because everybody's retiring. Farm life's tough. Taking care of land is tough. So if you are okay with taking care of a piece of land, fencing or horses, or if you just have a chunk of land and you don't really need to take care of it, then great. Easy, house, done, maintained. You still have your land to go wander and be on, absolutely. And if you have a key feature like a lake or a river on it, or next to it, or you're bordering it, great, then even better for you. So those, again, add another element. So there's so many elements to adding to this that you really, as a person, when you're looking to buy, have to narrow, niche down, and take a look at everything you want. Narrow that map down, narrow that niche down. I just help clients with that, of what do we want, because it can separate and get rid of all the other stuff, and then you can say, okay, this is where I need to go, or this is where I need to look, and you can start really looking. Otherwise, everything's attractive at first. I mean, shoot, you can, like us, you can pick everything, and then you're like, wait, what are the key features? What do we absolutely need? What are the secondary features? And then from there, you can really start to figure out, yeah, this is where we're going to look. We've gone to the city, we've gone to the town, we've stayed there, it looks amazing. We are going to hunt here. And then let the hunting begin. That's out of all of that, I think that's going to be the harder part, especially with no inventory. The only saving grace is you're going to start seeing more inventory with interest rates dropping down, more people transitioning and selling their older homes. Again, older homes. Some will sell new homes depending if they military town have to move, or if they've just decided to go, then sure, those will pop up, and those will go quite quickly as well. So you'll start seeing that. Also, another note, caveat here, is a lot of agents will have off-market homes that they can do one-time showings. The seller may not be ready yet, but they'll go ahead and entertain a showing with the buyer. We can negotiate a deal, and then when they are ready, then buyer, you have your house, and boom, there you go. Or there's a lot of back door negotiations or back home sales with buyers coming in. So if you want something like that and you're looking for a particular home, call me, or let me know, or let the agents know, or any way I recommend, and they can say, I can spot hunt for you. Done it countless times. Go here, spot hunt. I know what neighborhood you're looking for. I can click, boom, 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 with all our maps and all our baselines and everything we've done. I can say, yeah, I know where you're looking at. I can go find, I know a neighborhood that's barely been picked over, barely sold lately. I will go talk. And talking to friends and neighbors, we know where the old homes are. We know where to go pick homes up for you. So that's a lot of information. If you have any questions, call me. I will sit down and talk forever. Love doing this, and I will give you all my experiences, all my locations of where to go, where to move, what I like, what I don't like, and help you on your journey of buying a home. Okay, Captain Ron out. Have a good day. Bye, guys.